The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the Nikki Glaser Podcast. It's Wednesday. Andrew's here. I'm starting off. Listen, I'm still going to do the top of the show by myself. But lately we've been having to do a little bit shorter episodes because of timing constraints and internet issues. So just bringing him in right away, you know?
Hey, I'm fluid.
You're so fluid. You're full of fluids.
Honestly, I'm probably 140% water.
You're like the Earth, right? Wait. Aren't we like mostly water?
Earth is 70% water,
Wait.
30%
Hold
Jello.
up. I watched the episode of Curb last night that I'm going back and filling in the gaps of this season of Curb, and I saw the watermelon episode where the guy he lives with, JB Smoove, is reluctant to eat watermelon and very nervous and like has this whole thing about it, even though it's his favorite fruit. Larry, it's my favorite fruit. Because he doesn't want to be a stereotypical black guy. And it's such a good episode. And Woody Harrelson's in it. And I met Woody for a second time over my Halloween. Hawaii?
Halloween?
My Halloween trip. And it was just...
Wait, time out. You met Woody Harrelson
Wait,
too?
how did you not know that? Did you not see my story, bro?
I missed
You gotta
that
watch
too,
my story,
Nikki.
bro. What?
Here's the
I
thing.
missed that too.
Part of my thought process was eliminating...
I'm taking out my Invisalign. Hold on, I have to crack my back.
Oh, that
Ah,
sound,
nice.
boy.
I felt that in my spine.
It's like the opposite of
New trays.
ASMR.
No, I think people could get into that. It's very crunchy.
I like it.
I don't know where I'm trying to put it. If you watch the video, I'm like hiding it in my Swiftie sweatshirt.
It could be anywhere.
Okay, so I met Woody Harrelson for a second time.
Okay, so let's talk about it. And let's talk about my favorite person on earth.
Right.
That
Danny
you
McBride.
met. Huh?
Danny McBride.
No.
Larry. Okay, so I met Larry before too, but it was funny.
Lenny Dykstra.
I met Lenny too.
What?
So I go to Hawaii. It was a trip that Bill...
Wait, why do you say it like that?
Hawaii?
Wait,
How do you
what's wrong
say
with
it?
the way she says it?
I don't know. I think it's like how she says Vegas. It
Or
does
bagel.
something to my ears. Maybe I'm wrong.
So tell me how you say it.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
You go Hawaii.
Hawaii.
You just give it a lot, maybe. I don't know.
I do like enunciate Hawaii. Well, I think it's like H. I think like that's
I'm probably
how
wrong.
they say it.
I'm probably wrong.
I mean, I could be wrong too. I say things weird. My morning jacket.
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. Breaking Bad. I couldn't say Breaking Bad one day. It was just really tough for me. So,
David Dubrovnik.
What?
I don't know why. I meant
David
David
Duchovny.
Duchovny. I really did mean
and you
Duchovny,
put
and I
in
said Dubrovnik.
And you put in David Dobrik. Wait, what's his name?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's David Dobrik. Oh man, the kids love him. So, Jesus Christ, we're off to a some kind of start.
Hawaii.
What was the thing you said yesterday where you go nose 1 pound?
Oh, that was the best.
That was so fun.
That's what she named the... Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Anyhow. So you're in Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm in Hawaii. I went with Bill Maher. Bill Maher asked me February 2020 to go on the trip he does a New Year's Eve trip every year to Hawaii because to the islands because he did the same thing that he realized the same thing that I kind of realized, which is life is hard, and once you get to a certain level where you have enough money, like it's good to like lose money on a thing because it will be such a fun trip. And he did this trip one year and he's just done it ever since. He stays at the same places, he goes to eat at the same places, and they do these New Year's Eve 2 shows, one in Maui, one on Honolulu. And he brings a bunch of his friends. We fly over, and he brings...
Okay, let's go over this. So you fly private with Bill Maher,
Yeah.
who's on the plane. I want to hear, like the initial...
But let me just say, I did not know that Bill Maher liked me. In February 2020, I get asked via my agent, like, he wants you to come on this trip. And I was like, yes. And then Bill wrote me personally after I had heard it from my manager. He followed up and was like, this trip means a lot to me. I would love for you to go. I asked him if I could bring a guest. He was like, I don't usually have, we don't have a ton of room, but yes, you can bring a guest. And I was like, great. I didn't even know who I was going to bring at the time because it was, 10 months away. that trip got canceled because of COVID. Then he re-upped me for the next one. So this has been like 2 years in the making, nearly. And I didn't know he liked me. The only time I had run into Bill Maher. Bill Maher's my dad's favorite person in the world. They've gone to see. He's the only comedian I know that they've gone to pay to see that I've multiple times when he comes to St. Louis. They watch a show every week. He when I did the lie detector test with my parents on Not Safe, which is one of my most watched YouTube videos, to calibrate the test. Like if I were giving you a lie detector test right now to make sure it's working, I'd say, are you wearing New Balance shoes?
Yes.
Yes. So like something very obvious. And to calibrate the test for my mom, it was like, is your sweater purple? And for my dad, it was, do you love Bill Maher? And so that's like how much my dad loves Bill Maher.
Blow Bill Maher.
I did ask him that during the thing. I was like, would you go down on Bill Maher? It didn't air it, but like that was one of my lie detector questions. And what we found was shocking. On the next Not Safe with Nikki Glaser, that was canceled in 2016. So he asked me to go, and my only run-in with him before is, just having known him, was one time he walked in. He was at the cellar when I was about to go on stage. He walked in while the MC was on stage and about to bring me up, and he walked in with two beautiful young girls. Sits on the bench where the people that are just visiting go in to watch. And I was like, oh my God, Bill Maher's going to watch me. And I'm on stage and I see him leave in the middle of my set, which I took personally. But
of course,
he probably was just like, I'm just not feeling this. It's just not my style of comedy for tonight. I was probably saying like, don't fuck old men or something. Like it was probably not helping his.
Don't fuck Bill Maher, Dad. Babe.
And this was this was 2012 or something. So I could have just sucked. Although I was performing at the Cellar, and you don't suck if you perform there. But, I could have had an off night. Doesn't matter. So when he asked me, I was like, oh my God, where does he know me from? Turns out he knows me from the roast, and then he's heard me on Howard. And and we have some email correspondence. And then I do his show on Zoom during COVID in June of 2020, I think, from my parents' house, which is a great interview. Then I do it again this past June in person. It was awesome. And those are the only times I met him. I show up at the airport not knowing what this is going to be at all. I bring Chris with me. We show up and Bill's not there yet. I'm kind of running late and I'm freaking out that we're running late because I just like know
you ran late to a
well, I wasn't late. I was right on time to a private jet. Like I got there 3 minutes before we were supposed to board, but then the plane had issues.
Now, what's the deal with private jet? You went to the airport, no security, right? You just go.
Yeah, we were at the Van Nuys Airport, so it's a small private jet airport.
Yeah,
you pull up and you walk through a lobby.
What time did you show up?
We were supposed to board at 1:57.
I love this.
I had my
That's
TSA
so
free.
Nikki. That is so Nikki.
And I'm freaking out because I wanted to get lunch before because it's a 5.5 hour journey and I don't know what's going to be on the plane.
I love the idea of Bill hiding and showing up after you just to prove power over you. You know what I mean?
Well, he did show up after, but I'm so glad he didn't see me show up kind of late.
Yeah.
Even though I was running like 3 minutes behind on every single time we went anywhere. And he would call me like 2 minutes in and be like, we're gonna leave. But
So you're at the plane.
I get into the lobby and I walk in and there's like this big group of people. I don't know how many people are gonna be going on this, but it turns out it was Jim Vallely, who wrote all of Arrested Development, with his wife Maggie, who is Margaret Rowe is the name she goes by, her pen name, and she's written all these books, and she's an amazing woman.
I thought you were gonna say pet name.
It's her pet name. Oh my God. She's so fucking funny. They're all so funny.
And so who else?
And then a guy named Eddie, who is one of the founders of Vice Media. And he no longer works there, but Eddie, Corey, his plus one, who's one of his best friends. They're kind of like a you and I situation. Corey Kennedy is her name. And there is Annabelle Gurwitch, who was on Dinner and a Movie. Remember that TBS Dinner and a Movie? Beans and cornbread.
Kind of. If I saw
there was
her.
a guy and a girl, and it's her. She's been in a ton of things. She's also a New York Times bestseller author and works for the New Yorker and everything. She's kind of transitioned from actress to author.
It feels like a movie, like Clue. When
yes,
it's just like a bunch
murder
of
mystery.
murder.
Totally. We even said that at one point. That's really funny. So, you weren't the first to think of that. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's
You should ask your dad if he blew Bill Maher. I did that, but it wasn't aired.
We
Call
really
back,
did.
Cam Drip.
I wasn't trying. In neither circumstance was I trying to make.
But
you
I
feel.
didn't load it in my brain at all.
Okay. It wasn't waiting there for you. But it just I would said that because it was funny because I did ask him that.
I know. There's no fighting.
So then
One bell.
Moved out. So missed you, Brenda.
So silly.
Recycling.
Dryer sheets. So, oh God, if you're a new listener, there's a lot to catch up on.
Sorry.
But you know what? We'll get you there. So, we love you so much.
Cam Drip.
And we thank you for tuning in at all. We don't need you to listen to every episode.
Just kidding.
So,
sorry.
I know it's very loud. So, and then it was Chris from Kid and Play, Chris Reed from Kid and Play.
What's he been up to?
He's a comedian now, and he's also back on the road with Kid and Play. They're like going out with like Salt and Peppa, all these like it's like 90s revival. They're going out again.
All
on
the
road.
ends.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I didn't.
Oh God, that
mean-
is so funny, and he would laugh at that. He's a
But
real,
I didn't mean it. Like,
Of course you didn't. Salt and Pepper, Kid and Play.
yeah,
Yes, that is so funny, and needs to be in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where it's like,
I didn't.
of course you didn't mean it.
I know.
No, if you cancel Andrew because of that, cancel me too, because I co-sign on how unintentionally funny that was and stupid, and you're stupid if you get offended. That was so stupid. Okay, so Chris and then his girlfriend Ida, who sells luxury cars, and who's really cool, and then God, I feel bad that and then Rick Bartolini, who was the guy that promoted it, his boyfriend, a guy named, he's probably going to listen to this. And now I forget his name. He was so fucking
Mr.
nice.
Bartolini.
No, they weren't married. And then, let me just think of, there might have been, oh my God, if there's anyone I'm missing, it would be so, and then Mark, Bill's like, one of the producers on the show, Mark, Bill's like, it seemed like his like, kind of assistant, like slash.
So there weren't like any hot women, like random women?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Bill did not have any dates with him, but Bill is like a fascinating person and such why I love Bill Maher more than just being a brilliant comedian and being super generous and like really, really nice to my guest and like everyone, waiters, like just a guy. You think that a guy like that might not but be that cool to waiters and stuff. It was funny, Chris on his show today, not Kid and Play Chris, but my Chris, on his radio show today, he was doing a really fun segment called like, truth or fiction or whatever, and they just say things that happened to them over the break, and you have to guess whether or not it was true. And he was like, I loved Bill Maher until he was rude to a waiter. One of the most disappointing moments was he was rude to a waiter, and both his guests were like, co-hosts were like, that's true. And he's like, you'd think so, but it wasn't. Because he's just one of those guys that like is very...
What do you
generous.
talk about on the plane? Like, what's the conversation on the plane?
So
who's sitting by Bill Maher? Like, what is...
Instantly when I walk in, everyone is just like, hi, Nikki. They all Googled me. They all know who I am. Everyone is so nice. We are just like adopted into this group of friends. Everyone's kind of nervous because they all kind of know each other, but not really, just through Bill. We get on the plane. Bill gets there. He's wearing like these big Elvis sunglasses and like, he's just like, ready with a briefcase and he's ready to go, and he walks on the plane and we all take seats and we're kind of like nervous, like where do we sit? I sit across from Eddie and Corey, and Chris and I are on one side of the table, and we just start talking about just everything. I mean, like how they met, how Chris and I met, and I hate to say it, but Bill I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit.
Toot him up.
So at the end of the trip, Bill's done this trip 10 years in a row. This is, the skipped 1 year, but this 10th anniversary. And he was like, there was something about this trip where everyone was so open and honest. And it started on the plane, probably an hour in. Bill starts making the rounds of like going to each group of the plane. There's like 3 sections to sit in, and he made it over to ours. And we start talking about anal. And I start, eschewing the benefits and the joy that has brought me in my life, and asking him because he's a very sexually open person, and asking him about his sex life, and he is totally closed off to anal, never done it, and he's like, there is poop back there, and then he goes, oh, so your act, it's not an act, and he was like, I didn't think it was, but like that's interesting, and then we start getting into all of that, and it just everyone on there was a moment, Annabelle Gurwitch is in the back reading a book, and she's like meditating, and I see her like kind of meditating and also overhearing this conversation. about anal, and I'm like, oh my God, she's 60, but she looks like 42. She's beautiful and just elegant, and she's kind of quiet up to this point. She's quiet, and I'm like, this woman just like fucking hates me and probably thinks I'm so cool for like being like, talk about anal with Bill Maher, like trying to show off and be cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, she probably is just like, this girl is just too much, you know? And I was trying not to be too much, but you know, I'm a lot. Joe Rogan, 2012 or
No.
6, 17, 18.
I think it was like 19.
18,
Or 18.
19.
Well, you were a lot before that.
Yeah, I've always been a lot. And except when I was born, I was very little.
Oh, you were so small.
I was a very skinny baby, and I had jaundice, and I had to be in a little incubator,
You were
like
3%.
a little chicken. And so he said it. But Annabelle at one point, everyone is like not into anal. No one in my
Even the pilot?
Well, the pilot, of course he is, but he can't
Yeah.
chime in.
Yeah. What if he go over the loudspeaker like, dude, I'll fuck you.
I love Chris though, because Chris is sitting there and is just like, I'm really happy to be with someone who has hates toilet humor. By the way, Bill Maher also hates toilet humor, so him and Chris like really connected over that. They don't like poop and fart jokes. They just makes them recoil. They just hate it. Even though Bill, I go, you have 2 fart jokes in your act where you literally fart in the act. Like you like like you make fart sounds.
Yeah, but it's highbrow.
It actually is, but highbrow fart. And but at one point I look over at Annabelle and I go, God, I'm sorry. I guess I'm the only one, even though all of you would be into it. And she goes, I love it. And she just like quietly raised her hand, and I was like, fuck yes, girl, thank you. And then it just like opened up. We just were like all best friends. I mean, I really made some solid friends.
That's
people
awesome.
I will work with. Like I told Jim Vallely, who, you know, kept referencing how he's like an old, like kind of washed up guy, even though he's one of the quickest, funniest people ever. He was kind of just making jokes about like, I'm an old man, like I'm invisible to women. He's like, what you have a great career ahead of you. You have such important things to say. I could be in bed and watch TV the rest of my life. I have nothing more to say. And I'm like, Jim, no, like if I was doing a scripted show, you'd be my first hire. He's like one of the funniest people I've ever like, just quick. And like, I will say that he throws out jokes constantly and will like, he does not pull back. And so there are bombs a lot of times, but then he is funny when he bombs. But you know, that is the mark of someone who's just like, he just always is lifting up the move. There was one time when we were at dinner and there was an Asian woman at the dinner with us, and he said we were making erection jokes, and he was like, erection. He was like, or the way the Japanese talk about when they vote in a new candidate, the erection, like making
an L.
And it just fucking thudded on the like bread on a duck's back, just and he was just like, oh, and even later he was like, God, that was a rough bomb. And we were all, he's like, I don't know what I was even thinking. Like he's like kind of old school and makes kind of, you know, racy jokes sometimes. But we were around like people that just were cool and like let those kind of jokes fly. It was so much fun. We're 5.5 hours on this flight together. We all got off the flight. We were best friends. We all went to our separate hotels. Like during the day, we would go. One day, we all went to the beach together. We would have lunch together. We would go to dinner every single night, and Bill would pay for the whole thing. These great, like luxurious lunches. We would all be in vans together, going to the venues, and we had 2 shows. So we were there 4 nights, but we had 2 nights of shows. And we did a show in Maui on the 30th, and then we flew to Honolulu on the 31st.
And how much time did you have on the show? How did you do?
Bill would go out cold 30 minutes.
Bill would go out cold.
Literally cold. He would walk out. I've never seen anything like it. We got to go to break, but I'm going to come back and tell you how Bill went out cold.
Jesus.
So Bill there was no like.
What does going out cold mean?
Going out cold means you go out and you're shivering a little bit. You go out in a tank top.
A little tanky.
So going out cold means you have no opener. There's nothing you just walk. It's the worst position. Usually the MC is the worst spot on the show, which is ironic because in the US, MCs are usually the worst comic on the show. They're the comic with the least experience, right? And that's done because it's the least amount of time you stay on stage, even though you bring up each comedian. In the UK and maybe elsewhere, the MC is usually the most, like, maybe not the big act on the show, but is someone who is more proficient than the middle act, because it's such a tough spot to go out cold, and you want someone there that can really fill those shoes. So it's not a good system we do it, where the first person that goes out doesn't know how to like address the crowd, because all the things that come with being a great showman and emceeing a show are the things that come after you perfect your act. It's like the audience interaction, it's the stage presence, it's all those things that are built with thousands and thousands of sets. So Bill walks out to
when
literally.
When did he tell you that he was going to go out cold?
No, never. I mean, he said, "I'm going to go out, then you'll go out. Wait, I'm going to go out.
Yeah.
I'll bring up Kid or Chris Reed. Then I'm going to come back out. I'll bring up you. Then I'm going to close out the show." So he bookended it with 30 and 30, and Chris did 25. I did 30, and but he doesn't go out like when I bring up Emil to go up cold on our shows. He's really not going up totally cold because I do and he is, because he's the first person on stage, but I do another expression in the biz is voice of God, which is the sound you hear when someone's talking backstage, like, "Welcome to the show. Please put your mask over your nose and mouth." But I usually bring up Emil with a couple jokes, and I'm like, "Hey guys, it's Nikki." And usually I have to say the headliner does not get, you don't hear from the headliner at all before they walk out on stage. So I would do that as like to give Emil something.
Yes.
Which he doesn't need, but I want him. Every comedian, no matter how good you are, you don't want to go up cold. It's just it's the taking the bullet, as we also call it. So Bill goes up, but he doesn't. There's no "Please welcome Bill Maher," or like the lights don't even change. It just all of a sudden the music goes bump 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 bump, like his real time music, and he just walks out. And it's not like bump 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 bump. It's like he walks as the music starts. There's he's just goes, and he hits the mic, and he has a little music stand that he puts his notebook on, and he flips through his jokes, because he goes on stage high every single time. He has never not been high on stage when he does stand-up. Now, let me say that Bill Maher does not smoke weed ever or get high ever, and he doesn't do edibles because he's had bad experiences, which are hilarious stories that he shares on. You got to go see him, and if you are, even if you're a conservative, Bill is going to hit both sides of whatever you feel and educate you, and he's just really good. He's really, really good at stand-up, and I would not be saying this if he weren't someone that I think our besties would like to go see. I would just say he's great. I wouldn't say this. You know what I mean? Like, I really recommend going to see him. You'll learn a lot, and he's one of the best stand-ups out there. So he... but he doesn't ever go on real time or on TV stoned.
It's interesting.
He's very regimented. Now, for me, if I'm getting stoned before a show, I'm getting stoned before. Like, I was stoned on F-Boy for some of it. By the end of F-Boy, I was like, "Oh, let me take a little hit." Like, I was talking to Woody Harrelson. We'll get into that later. And we were talking. This is when we were getting into like, when do you imbibe substances or smoke before things? And Woody even said, like, Woody's a big pothead too, and he's like, "I don't smoke before a scene," because I go, "Do you ever smoke before a scene?" Because I told my story to Woody of fainting on stage.
We're going too fast. How did you meet? Where was Woody at the show?
Woody couldn't go because Woody's unvaxxed.
Oh, interesting.
And Bill was like, "God damn it, Woody." And also Eddie Vedder usually goes to the Honolulu show because he's there. He's good friends with Obama, and he like lives in Honolulu during the holidays to like be friends with Obama and hang out with them, like best friends with Obama, Eddie Vedder. And he didn't go to our Honolulu show, even though he goes every year for 10 years because he was scared of COVID. And so it sucked that we didn't get these but Woody did come to dinner afterwards. So after the shows, we would, at 10:30 or 11, we would go back to the Four Seasons, and they would open up the restaurant that's now closed, and they would serve us dinner at this big table with 13 of us, plus Larry was there that night at the show. So he was staying at the Four Seasons.
Was Larry backstage when you show up at the show?
So I went whale watching that day.
By Larry David, folks.
So when I went whale watching that day with Chris, it was, we invited everyone, but no one wanted to go. Bill was like, I can see them on Google Image. I'm just fine. And I was like, I feel that way about literally everything except whales, so I get it. So Chris and I went alone. We said, we'll meet you guys there. Usually we all go everywhere as a group together. So this was a little bit like, is that okay? And Bill was like, yeah, it's fine. So we go to the venue straight from whale watching. We pull up and I get backstage and they take my temperature and everything. And everyone's already there. We got there like 5 minutes behind everyone else. And everyone's like, Mark comes up to me, you know, Bill's guy, and he's like, Bill wants to practice the song with you, because we always close the shows with a rendition of Smile, Smile, even though it's breaking, Smile. Yeah. And we needed to practice it because we practiced it before and we didn't know what key, and so he's like, Bill wants, and I didn't memorize the lyric shit, and I'm like, fuck. But then I quickly looked at them and like got them, even though they're very hard because they're all like similar but not. And so we go to this green room and he's like, Bill wants you to practice. So we go to get Bill, and there's Larry David, and I am still in my whale watching outfit. I went to the venue to change, and I have no makeup on, disgusting wet hair, jean short cutoffs that have stained with spray tan.
So you look like Larry David.
You look so cute.
I did not look, but I did not look like, if it would have needed to be said, like, even Bill looked me up and down. I go, I'm going to change. Don't worry. I'm not wearing this on stage because this is like a big show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know how, like, if I met Larry David, he doesn't care for me to go, I'm not going to wear this on stage. Like, but I would have had to say that because even though it doesn't need to be said, it kind of does. Mm-hmm. And then it would have just been, so I was like, I don't want to meet Larry right now. And so I didn't say that, but thank God I did. I saw him in the corner talking to people. It was like this green room situation. Like, it looked like a break room of an office, right? There's a table, there's like coffee.
Why is Larry there? He's just on vacation?
So Larry is there with his new wife. They got married recently. They've been dating 4 years. They met at Sacha Baron Cohen's anniversary party with his wife, Isla Fisher. She's a producer that worked with Sacha Baron Cohen. I've actually worked with her on something that I didn't, we didn't meet when we worked on it. But so he's there with his new wife. They're all talking to my friends Corey and Eddie, all those people, and I go off to practice the song with Bill and Chris. We nail it, and I run off to my green room to go get ready, curl my hair, put on makeup, put on my outfit. I come back out and I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to meet fucking Larry. I walk into the green room. They're all sitting around the table now in this like break room area, and Larry is, and they're all in a deep discussion with Annabelle Gurwitch about her son, who is non-binary. And Larry's being classic Curb Your Enthusiasm Larry of like, now tell me, what does it mean? What happens when they, he's asking all the questions about, trans people. And I walk in and I go, hi, I'm Nikki. And he goes, we've met. And I go, I know, but I don't want to go, we've met. Like, I didn't want to be the person.
Wait, when did you meet Larry David?
Well, I don't know when he thinks he met me, because there's no way he remembers meeting me at this, but I didn't want to get into like, when do you think we met? Yeah. But he had seen me at the roast.
I remember that.
And Radu
heard him in
Bondar
the bathroom.
Heard him in the bathroom go, you don't want to laugh because it's so brutal, but it's really fucking funny. Yeah. Like, he said that about me.
Yes.
Right? Like, you don't want to laugh at what she says, but it's like, you can't help it. And that was like such a great little thing that we heard that we're like, yes, Larry liked me.
Awesome.
So then I walk in and Chris is behind me and we're both like, Larry David. And I go, hi, I'm Nikki. And he's like, I know you. He goes, we've met. And I go, I know. I was like, I don't expect you to remember me. I love you. I was like, this season of Curb is so fucking good. Everyone I talk to, we talk about it right away. It's like a conversation I have with everyone. I was like, you just killed it. Thank you so much. And I questioned saying that because I'm like, oh, he's probably getting it all the time. And then I remembered my little rule, which is everyone thinks celebrities hear things all the time. And so you never hear it. And whenever you see me on TV or whenever you see my face on something or see me in a magazine, please send me at Besties, because I bet you think that everyone saw me and sent me something, but they don't, because everyone thinks that everyone else did. It's the bystander effect. So he was like, oh, thank you. And then they got back into the conversation. I'm just sitting there kind of ping pong, like tennis matching, watching this conversation. And then it's time to go on stage. So we walk out, and Larry and his wife was in the bathroom, so I didn't meet her at that moment, are sitting. I posted a picture on my Instagram story. They're sitting front row on the side stage, which I realize, like, when you're a celebrity, you never get actual good seats. You always get a profile seat.
It's like when Jason Mraz was at the show.
Yeah, you get to watch. You get to be backstage with the artist. And like I got to see Bruce Springsteen from this profile.
Yes.
But the sound is bad backstage. Like you can't hear anything.
Now, does this make you more nervous or not?
Hell fucking yes,
Okay.
it does.
It's the first show, right?
This is the second show.
Okay, second show.
And by the way, I
Did
want
you
to
do well
new
on the first
material.
show?
Yeah, the first show I killed.
Okay.
And I want to do different material in the second show though, because Bill and I had a separate discussion during Chris's set on the second night. Bill had come off stage, and Bill did the same thing because he's working on his special, so he did the same sets. But he walked off stage, and we're watching Chris's set that we saw the night before, you know. And he goes, even though we're comics and we know that you got to repeat material, there's something kind of inherently embarrassing about watching a comedian repeat material. And I was like, there is. You know there is.
I know, but he was doing it too.
Yeah, but he was acknowledging even for himself.
No, I know. So
But it wasn't about Chris. It was just like Chris and I were actually loving watching Bill Maher's jokes a second time. And we both realized that there's something about hearing a joke you like the second time that there's value to it. So there's truth to both. But when he said that, I had already planned on doing a whole different half hour.
Yeah.
But that cemented it for me. And I had saved a lot of great jokes for the second. So I was like, you know what? I have a loose idea of what I'm going to do, but who knows? So I go out there. I have some Hawaii jokes, by the way, that I throw out. I didn't do it on the second show, but can I run them for my first show?
Yeah.
I go, so beautiful here. We're in Maui.
Can I guess the punchline?
Yeah. So we're in Maui. It's so freaking beautiful here. You guys live here? You guys live here. Where do you...
Where do you...
You guys live in a paradise. Where do you guys... You can pass.
Pass.
Vacation. Where do you go
That's
to
what
get
I
away
thought.
from it all? Houston? And then that was the joke. And then I go,
That
when you
hits
get off
a lot.
the plane in Houston, what do they put around your neck? A
lasso?
Noose.
Thank you.
Noose. Damn it.
That's funny though, because noose was the line that Jim Vallely gave me, because I go, what can they put around your neck in Houston? He goes, a noose. And I was like, perfect. And then Chris came up and goes, you can say, I thought it was a lasso. That's so
Ted Lasso.
great one too. So anyway, those were my Hawaii jokes.
I relate to that because living in Florida, you didn't feel like, because I grew up in a vacation spot until you went to the Bahamas. But the Bahamas, you already lived pretty much in the Bahamas.
Maui is where people go.
Yeah, it's all in your
It's
head.
crazy.
Yeah. St. Louis is the last, you leave you don't
Yeah,
vacation.
you don't vacation in St. Louis. Although you should, because we have literally Forest Park and the City Museum and our museums. Like, you should vacation in St. Louis.
Yes.
100%. And I'm doing a tourist thing for St. Louis coming up pretty soon. Any other questions? So,
Oh, yeah.
Larry
So
David.
Larry David, do you see him take a seat before you go on stage? Yeah,
Yes,
because
he's sitting
watching
right in front
Bill.
of me, dude. So they have all the chairs set up for all 13 of us on the side of the stage to watch during the show. Larry and his wife are sitting right front. We're stage right, and they're front, right? Okay, and then there's a seat next to them for Bill. So I'm watching them watch Bill. Then Bill comes back. He's sitting next to me. We're watching that. Or no, we're watching Larry and his wife watch Chris, and then
Is he laughing at all when he's
Yeah.
watching? So he's
he's really enjoying Bill.
Okay.
He's enjoying. Bill sits next to him during Chris's set, so they're kind of talking. So he's
Yeah.
not as much listening. But and I haven't met his wife yet, and
It'd be so funny if Bill walked out in your set again, like
What do you mean?
halfway through, like he did at the Cellar.
oh my god, he was so freaking nice.
So wait, okay, sorry. So you go. He announces you. You go up after Chris.
No. So Bill goes out, and I go. I'm standing next to Larry and his wife, and I go, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. You gotta sit right here. I was like, please, will you just go to the bathroom or something? I can't handle this. And he goes, what? He goes, we're excited. We're big. I'm a big fan. He kept pointing to himself with the claw, like, we're big fans. We're big fans. And I go, stop. I don't need to hear this shit right now, Larry. I go,
What is this, an episode?
I know. I go, I don't need to hear this. I go, I can't handle that. That's a lot to live up to. And I go, that is so nice. I was like, thank you so much. That's so nice. And I go, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And I say to his wife, and again, I know that they got married from reading tabloids, right? And it's weird to know things about celebrities and be like, I heard you got married because I read the Daily Mail. But I was like, I go, you guys, he's like, this is my wife. And I met her and I was like, hi. And she was like, oh, actually, we met on this thing. And I go, congratulations on, you guys just got married, right? And she's like, yeah. And I go, how long have you been together? And she's like, 4 years. And I go, how'd you meet? So we're saying all of this as Bill is out there, like about to bring me up. And I'm there. Chris got all these pictures of me like talking to them. And I'm just like sitting there, like galling out with her about like how they met. And I'm like, wait, did you like, no, like, how did you?
You sent me a photo and it was just from behind of Larry.
Yeah.
And that's just like how, like, just
it's like
noticeable
his
he is.
head
His
is
whole...
like so much of their logo.
Recognizable.
Yeah. And you just hear dun 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 dun, dun, dun. So then I go out and I wasn't nervous at all. Like
because you spoke with him or just because
I just know that I'm funny.
Yeah.
And I know that the jokes I'm about to do are great.
So what did you open with if not the Houston, not the Hawaii?
I opened with God, what did I open with that? Oh, I opened with you're all wearing masks. I sometimes get worried about the masks being like, I'm not scared of it.
Yeah.
You know, that
the
whole thing.
gross bit.
But I didn't end up doing that. I just stopped at the I think of masks as like I think of COVID as like I don't care if I get it. I don't want to give it. It's
To my
like
parents.
it's like oral sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you looking at Larry at all?
No,
during
because
the
he's
set?
like it's like a theater like we've performed
Yeah.
in, same sizes, and he's way off to the stage.
Okay.
Stage right, but I can hear my friend Eddie laughing because this is my friend Eddie that I did a whole compilation of Eddie was a little drunk, and he's one of those guys that like comments after he laughs. He's a great laugher, boisterous, but he comments after every thing.
Like, what does that mean? Like,
you'll see.
Oh.
So I put together a supercut of Eddie watching Bill Maher and responding to it, and I put captions with it, so you might not be able to hear exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
So this is just all of the times that and this is probably 10% of the times that he did it, and we were laughing. The show became Eddie listening to Eddie.
Getting a little drunk. Perfect. Listen, bitches, mind your own fucking business.
Snitches and
he's like Eddie
Listen.
2 times.
that's a cackle.
You're the iPhone 11.
He goes expensive.
Society priests.
That's what he drops his phone. I just have all of this. Whoa! He's one of those guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Wait,
that's
listen
crazy.
to what he goes. He goes. Bill Maher goes. They have a word for it. It's because he's talking about millennials being like, kind of. He has great points about. He does this whole thing where he doesn't like millennials. He thinks he was on me about being on my phone the whole time. Like, you millennial on your phone. What are you gonna do when you go on stage? And I go, oh, I bring it because I record myself. And he goes, oh yeah, I do that too. And it was like Bill was always.
Did
Bill
you
and I
find
would get
it-
into fights, not fights, but like
Yeah.
he'd go like, why are you going to therapy? And he goes, why do you need to go to therapy? I go, people go because even if the person is terrible, you let out something. And he goes, and what does that do? I go, you don't punch your kid. You don't kick your dog. You don't punch a wall. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, he would always acquiesce if I proved him
Yeah.
wrong. It was really like me. Bill connects with people when he debates, and it shuts a lot of people down because it's so intimidating. But I loved it. So I'd go, Bill, what are you talking about? Like, we have a really fun dynamic. So, but listen to him say this adulting part. And Eddie goes, adulting. Oh, no. Like, he repeats the adulting. So I made this whole clip of Eddie doing that. So, anyway, so I could hear Eddie most of the time. And then I got off stage and, Chris was just on the radio today recounting. And so I'll say what he said, which was Larry's like bending over laughing, slapping his knee. And he's like, the guy that's probably arguably brought more laughs to the world than anyone, via Seinfeld and Curb, is making, Nikki's making him laugh harder than, I've seen
how's that
him ever
feel?
laugh. It felt great. It felt like, you know what? I I might not trust
Yes.
literally anyone,
Even yourself.
but I can trust Larry David
Of
that I'm
course.
funny. And so that was really nice. And then he didn't go to dinner with us, but he did ride on the van back with us. And at one point he was like, does anyone have any gum? And Chris was like, I've got some. And then my friend Corey was like, I've got some too. And I was like, oh, it's a race for the gums. So Chris has gum, and he got him gum, and I took a picture of Chris giving him gum. And so Chris has this great picture of him like giving Larry David. And Chris said he had two. It was like gum that comes in cubes that's in like the kind of cup. And I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
And last night I wrote a whole bit on Chris's Instagram of what Larry David would say about the gum. I said, what happened to sticks of gum? I can maybe understand a chiclet with the hard shell, but a chiclet shape with the consistency of a stick? What are they trying to pull here with a soft cube? A cube of gum. I like my gum in sticks, not cubes. I guess next time I want to chill a beverage, I'll ask for some ice sticks in a cup. So I wrote that, and then Chris was like, I did have some two pieces of gum in my pocket because the whole cup is cumbersome, and I was gonna pull them out of my pocket, but I was so scared he was gonna go, I want a loose cube.
Yeah,
you think I want a loose cube?
No one wants a loose
Yeah,
cube.
and so I was like, that's so funny. And then Larry said goodbye. We got to the hotel to go to dinner. Larry and his wife retired, and we walk through the lobby, and we're like, oh damn it would have been fun to have Larry at dinner. And Chris and I had missed the brand right there and the kind of hang in the green room, and we get back, and there was no like chalking really in the van. It was like kind of Bill and them were talking up front. We were in the back just like, oh my God, Larry David. And we get to the table, and Woody Harrelson's sitting there with his wife. And I sit down next to Woody because I don't know why not. And I said to Woody, oh, hey, I think I told this yesterday. Did I say it yesterday?
I don't know.
I said, hi. And he's like, hey, Woody, nice to meet you. And I go, we met at Jennifer Lawrence's ages
you didn't
ago.
say this.
You were so nice. It's so good to see you again. I don't expect you to remember. And he goes, oh my God, how is she? He goes, oh, cool. Oh, all right. And I was like, and then we're sitting there, and he goes, hey, send Jen a picture of us. And I was like, oh, I'm not really friends with her anymore. And he goes, why not? And I was like, there wasn't any like reason. It's just,
Lost touch.
separate lives.
Loose cube.
And I go, but you know what? This is a perfect reason to get back in touch with her.
Yeah.
And so I took a selfie of us, and it's such a cute picture. I should put it on my main post. I'll save it for when he dies.
What was he wearing?
I don't
No,
even
I'm just
remember.
thinking
He
about
was
the outfit
so
I'm gonna
nice,
wear.
and at one point he's so funny, and like just he was really
You
curious about me living
arguably
in
like
St. Louis.
met the two most influential bald men in cinema history.
He's so cool. He was so nice, and let me just say, so nice to Chris, my +1, who no one needed to be nice to.
So wait, so you sent the photo? Sorry. I didn't.
So I sent the photo to Jen. She didn't write back, but
Oh.
who knows? Like that was her number from like 5 years
Yeah.
ago. So who knows? And but during the dinner, I gotta go to break, and I'll tell you what happened next. So I'm sitting next to Woody Harrelson at dinner, and he's asking me about St. Louis and about what he lives in Hawaii. So I didn't realize that. I was like, it's just nice to get away with the pressures of LA and New York, and I'm a workaholic, so it's like keeping the alcohol in a cabinet. Like you got to go unlock the thing to get it. Like I got to fly here to get my drug. And he liked that, and he was talking to me about like, I think I could live in the Midwest. Like I could do something like that. I was like, I'm like a nobody compared to you, but you think people in the Midwest give a shit? Like you might be like, you're a big fish in a small pond where there's not a lot of celebrities, but St. Louis doesn't give a fuck about celebrity. Like it's almost insulting sometimes where I'm like, you don't care. Like I was like, they really leave you alone. Like, cause they don't care. If they cared, they would have left to go pursue that kind of thing.
Yeah.
LA is celebrity obsessed. New York celebrity obsessed because everyone there's trying to be famous and rich. Here in the Midwest, people still want to be rich, but it's just like, they don't care about fame as much. And, then we're sitting there and we order and he's already eaten and it was before we ordered, and he just taps me and he goes, hey, I want you to have this. And he just hands me his menu like it was some gift he was giving me. And he goes, I really want you to have this. And I go, what do you know? Like, I can't. This is yours. And he's like, I just really think you should. And I was like, this means so much to me. Like we had like a funny bit. And then like someone mentioned during dinner, like, can we smoke weed? Because this place, it was outdoor air. We're the only people in the restaurant. And, Woody lights one up and starts passing it around, and boy, was I tempted to partake. But you know what?
Wow.
I did not.
I would have been completely like.
I will say that having
would've
Chris
been
there
yeah.
was one of the reasons I didn't, because Chris does not love my pot smoking, and I like that he likes me sober, and it like matters to me that I'm not, doing something that it's not like he wouldn't make me feel bad if I did it, but and he knows how I feel about, I don't care about my streak. Like, oh, I've had this many days. Like, I can do things. If I slip up, it's not going to ruin my sobriety or whatever. But I do know, and I want to just say this to people who might have that little voice in the back of their head when they get offered a drink and they're like, God, this is the time to do it. Like, I'm going to regret not doing it, especially with pot. And I would say it's the same with alcohol, because I've never given into my alcohol tendencies and I've been around great people drinking, and you go, oh, I'm disappointing this famous person, and this is the only time I'm going to meet them, and I'm the lame duck. But I will say that when I didn't smoke weed, no one fucking cares. Yeah. No one cares. No one thought I was the loser. No one talked to me less because of it. You just don't pick it up. It's literally the same as if I would have taken it. Like, I passed it and no one knows the difference. And I thought it was going to be this thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I woke up the next morning, my lungs didn't hurt. I didn't feel like, did I say something weird? I had my inhibitions about me. And I was able to have like great conversations with him and Bill and everyone else the rest of the night without feeling paranoia or any of that stuff that would have come. So I wouldn't have been mad at myself if I did it, but I was really happy with myself that I did it. And I don't think, if Chris would have not been there, I think I would have done it, which would have been fine too. But I was then able to have a really great conversation and not question that I was being too much or weird. Or
it's interesting because like the people that used to give me shit about not drinking were like friends from high school or whatever, and it's like, I don't know. It's just like a certain kind of friend or a certain kind of person that gives you shit about not getting fucked up because they're getting fucked up. And I love them, but then there's like a level of like, oh, these people accomplished their passion and their goal in life, so they're not going to fucking look at the person next to them and be like, no, you got to get fucked up. It's kind of a dumb thing to do to someone because you're being very selfish.
It's an insecure thing because you need other people to do something in order for you to make it feel okay.
Yeah.
Like the peer pressure is completely insecurity on one person's. Yeah. And I understand wanting other people to have fun with you and loosen up. And you're like, I want to be like, I hated when I drank and I knew I was going to get stupid and there would be people there that would remember how stupid I am. Like there is something to that. But again, insecurity. Let's get to final thought. I blew past the news yet again, and I know we have great stories, but I wanted to play a game for our Wednesday wild card, literally with cards that, backed by popular demand from the Besties. Noah, you got a lot of notes about how people like this, right?
Yes, I did.
So this is the game from Barstool Sports, and I'm going to have them send us more. It's called Answer the Internet, and it's these questions that are very good.
Let's do it.
And it's Answer the Internet, ATI. Questions as fucked up as you are.
Okay. Insane.
So here we go. Okay. I'll give you a stack.
All right.
We'll just would you rather each other. Okay.
Oh boy, I'm not ready for this.
Okay. Pull the internet. Okay. Waffles or pancakes?
Oh, fucking waffles, because pancakes are for
But
pussies.
you have to eat it with your dick.
What?
Yeah, you have to use your dick as a utensil.
Is there syrup?
Yeah.
Butter?
Oh, wait, seriously, waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Wait, is the dick part really a part of the question?
No.
Because
This is
that's awesome.
this is actually a normal one. Waffles or pancakes, Noah?
Waffles.
Okay, you like a little. It is like the same matter, right?
But here's the thing. Waffles, I feel like pancakes I could eat more than... Pancakes to me doesn't like... Waffles feels like a special thing. Like chicken and waffles. You know, put ice cream on waffle. I don't know. Waffles just feels like once a year. Pancakes could probably be about 10 times a year, I think. What do you think?
I don't do either because I'm scared of carbs and sugar. But when I let those things back in my life, when they're ready to come back into my life naturally, because God wants me to have them, fucking pancakes all day, yo.
Okay.
Because waffles have a hardness to them, and I just love a fluff.
That's what
and
I like.
I love the way pancakes soak up the syrup. Yesterday, I treated myself, and I know this is such a dumb sentence. It's so LA. But I treated myself to avocado toast, and I don't eat a lot of bread, but I find, much like not smoking pot, when I do eat bread, I never regret it if it's in a normal amount. It's just when you overdo it, you're not going to get fat from bread if you eat it like a normal person. So I ate a great, hearty, from, the hotel I stay at is very like earthy, and avocado toast is the best consistency because it soaks up the juicy avocado and is mushy, plus bread is soft. Like I like a almost soft, not too toasted. I love a moist, soaked up thing.
Same.
Okay.
Same.
God, I'm
Caldi's makes an amazing avocado toast.
I'm going to start eating it more often because, I unleashed something.
Their breakfast is incredible.
Okay.
Anyhow.
Who has the easier job? Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny?
Dude, Easter Bunny, easy. Because Santa Claus gotta fucking go to house.
But also,
every
he's a
house.
rabbit. Think about, like, he doesn't have hands.
But he gets to eat candy all day, doesn't he?
Wait, no, he's eating carrots, I think. My parents used to eat, like,
He eats carrots
My
and
parents used
shits
to
out
take a bite out of
Canberry
carrots
eggs.
and, like, the Easter Bunny used to trash our house because my parents would, like, make it look like he had been there. And I was disturbed by a giant rabbit trashing our kitchen and leaving its remnants everywhere. Okay.
By the way, a real rabbit as a pet, my buddy, his girlfriend had it. A little much. It shit all over my bed.
No, I love those things. Well, it shouldn't have been on your bed. Okay, well, sorry. I got to get to a cool one before I get to yours. Here's a cuss one. Who's hotter, Ariel or Jasmine?
Ariel 94, Ariel now.
Not Bratz doll, Ariel.
I would say Ariel.
What about you, Noah?
Although Jasmine's a little firefox.
Who would you rather be?
Smoke show.
Well, I think I would rather be Jasmine because she became like a powerful
And Aladdin's so
Empress
much
or
cooler
something.
than the fucking prince that...
And you get to fly on a carpet and stuff. There's like magic involved.
But who's hotter? I gotta say, I think Jasmine, because I definitely was very aware of Disney
Here's the thing, though. Can I
princess's
tell
hotness.
you one thing? Ariel's pussy probably smells like fish.
Yeah, but Jasmine might have a fucking UTI from
The carpets.
those
Carpet
culottes.
bugs.
Yeah, the carpet. Her carpet might smell like. It might not smell like magic. No, Jasmine was hot because I was gonna say Ariel because she had that flowing hair in the water that was super hot, and then flinging it on the rock and the shell boobs, and she had like this beautiful face, and Jasmine's face looked a little less. It looked more cartoony, and Ariel had that it just. And obviously, as like a white girl, I related to. I love that I related to a mermaid more than than Jasmine because she was a different race.
Yeah,
so stupid.
It's true.
But as a little girl, and Ariel, I was in second grade. Jasmine, I was in like fourth grade. But I think Jasmine for sure because she had that sexy the blue little the bustier, and she had this tiny little waist and the big flowing hair and big beautiful eyes. Jasmine. Okay.
Here's the thing, though. Ariel is like Jessica Rabbit without the fake tits.
Yeah, you're right.
Like a young one. That's what she grew into after she hit the streets. All right. Would you rather? You ready?
Yeah.
Shit yourself every time you come or get a boner every time you talk to a dude?
I mean, it's so funny. They don't even consider that women might play this game. Because none of these men would have this game. Wait a second, hold on. So I would either get soaking wet, let's say
soaking
squirt.
wet. Yeah, every time you talk to a woman.
I would squirt. I would just wear a diaper because shit smells and squirt doesn't. So I would rather squirt when I talk to a woman. What about you? Wait, shit your pants every time you what? Orgasm?
Shit yourself every time you come?
No.
Get wet every time you talk to a woman?
I enjoy anal sex too much to have the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even close.
That's insane.
Okay, would you go to a football game at a 70,000 seat stadium if you knew that 500 seats would get ejected into a black hole, but everyone who didn't get ejected would get $5 million?
70,000 seats. So you have a 1 in
35
35,000. Wait.
1 in 35.
No. 1 in 35,000.
No.
Yeah, 500 people out of
5,000, it didn't say?
no, it said 500 people in a 70,000 seat stadium.
Do 500 divided by 70,000.
I know how to do this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
You have a 0.007% chance. You have 7/100ths of a percentage.
Who's to say that there's not more money in the black
I
hole?
would not do it.
Huh?
I would not do it. Even if the price was like 500 million. I
What
wouldn't
if
do
you
it.
were a starting comedian and you were your age
I would
and you were
never do
dead
it.
poor?
I would never do it because this is Squid Game. I can't.
Do you know what happens in a black hole?
No.
What?
You will get stretched, and it's. I guess nobody knows because nobody will ever
So my
survive
dick
that.
will get longer, you're saying?
Oh shit! Then he's doing it. No.
Yeah, dude, don't put my dick in that black
Would you
hole.
risk it for?
I think I would risk it. I think it'd be fun.
That's the thing, though.
I say that, but once I got to the game, I'd
Oh
probably be
my
like,
god, you would be shitting your pants.
wait, because I'm
You'd be
coming.
the other guy.
All right, would you rather? You ready?
Yeah.
Have to piss sitting. This again isn't for a
my
woman.
God,
Never mind.
yes.
Okay,
Piss
would you rather win a World Cup in a soccer crazy country or win any U.S. sports title? Essentially, this is saying soccer's for gay people.
Yeah, and like and others.
No, like when you're growing up in high school, it like a lot of times it was either football or soccer were the same season. And if you played soccer,
Obviously,
you were
I
like
would
a little
want the
bitch. I'm just
American
saying that's-
version because I don't
Yeah.
understand the culture around soccer, even though I know it's huge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Europe and South America, that's what football
Either you're the
is.
most famous person in America or you're the most famous person in the world outside of America. Because
Yeah.
America, although we care about World Cup, most of us don't. And I don't know who wins World Cups. And I know 2 soccer players' names, right?
Okay, Ronaldo and Messi.
Yes. But that's the thing is like, so I would rather be famous where I am and be a big deal where I am, even if it's small potatoes. You know what I mean? Like
big
I would rather,
fish, small pond, and
yeah, I would
big
rather,
fish over their pond
I would rather,
on the other side of the pond.
yeah. So
Interesting. But I think if you lived there, though, you would feel that same
I
feeling
would
times
rather
a
win
million.
American Idol than Miss Universe.
Okay. But I think if you lived there, it depends. If you
Yeah, but
grew
I can't
up
put
there.
myself. I'm not putting myself in
Okay.
those shoes because I don't. Because I'm saying it as an American.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather? Wait. What the fuck does that mean? Would you rather? You surely know what this means. Would you rather fight a kangaroo or look like Sam Castle?
Oh, Sam Cassell.
Cassell. Who's Sam Cassell?
He's just like an ugly basketball player.
So mean.
yeah, that was fucked up.
Fuck that.
And I'd rather fight a
look like
kangaroo.
of course.
Would you rather have flamingo legs or T-Rex arms?
Flamingo legs. I
Or
already
Sam
have them.
Cassell's face.
I would much rather have flamingo. I already have skinny flamingo legs.
Oh
and
yeah,
I want to
and
big up her body.
But literally flamingo legs, like claws. I already have feet.
oh yeah, you got the claws.
No, they're actually like I'm a duck.
I got long arms for how
Yeah.
short I am.
Yeah, you
so
do.
I don't know. This would suck. You couldn't jerk off if you had
Ooh,
T-Rex
this
arms.
is a good one. I have to go, but
Would you rather be twice
Yeah.
your weight or half your height? Fuck.
Twice your weight or half your height. Twice my weight.
Twice my weight.
half my height.
Well, you could lose weight. Could you lose the weight?
No, you have to be it forever. And that's not
Half
in
your
the,
height. You're 5'7". You'd be
I think you're very
2'9".
little.
You'd be 2'9".
I'm 5'9", so I would be
Oh yeah.
2'5" plus
You're so
4.
tiny.
So I'd be like almost 3 feet.
I'd be a little girl. I'd be so little. I'd be the littlest
So
comedian
and how
ever.
much? Okay, you'd rather be that than 200,
Ali Colbert.
200 and something pounds.
But I just have a lot of body stuff.
Yes.
So I'm just saying that, and then I'm not.
But you don't think you have short body stuff? If you were that small, I don't know.
I don't have when I see short women, the thing is when I see short women, there's no judgment. And I know that's super duper short. Let me
Yes.
just wait, hold on.
That's 3 feet. Yes,
Oh man, that's tiny as fuck.
dude. That's.
I'd rather
fucking-
be twice my weight. I'd rather be 3 times my weight. I'd rather be 4 times my weight. No fat shaming on this show, and that's my issue. I do not look down upon. I look down upon short people because I have to, but never do I.
You
care
ready
if
for this
someone's-
one?
Yeah, I gotta
Last
go
one.
to therapy.
Would you watch
Clearly.
a 25-minute dirty sex tape of your daughter for $1 million?
No.
No.
Yeah. What? Yes.
No, you're thinking of like
privacy.
a daughter that doesn't. You don't have a daughter, and I know I don't either. But like, you're not gonna want to do that. Your mom.
Yeah, can you imagine
Dude,
your parents
I'd pay
seeing
someone
you?
to watch that. Huh?
Can you imagine your parents seeing you do
I
that?
would. You know what I would do? I would
My
do it,
dad
and then I
fucking
would
laugh his dick off.
I would do it, and then I would give it to her, split it with her, and she
So
would
she
go
doesn't
shopping.
have to do the tapes anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, can I just give a quick shout? Thank you for the messages about my mom. So many people wrote me, and it was very nice. Thank you. That's all.
And thanks to everyone who yesterday that was so sweet. And
anyhow.
Andrew's a pussy. And so guys, I'm just kidding, dude. It was so sweet. I told
So
Chris
fucked
about
up,
it.
dude. That's
I
so
loved
fucked
it. It was
up.
beautiful. I love you both, Noah, Andrew. I love you,
That's so
besties.
fucked up,
Don't be
man.
cuh out there. I gotta go to therapy, even though we're not dating yet. And we don't be cuh. And Jack.
Dude, that was really mean.
That was jacked up.